Hi everybody, this is Mark from Creations by Mark. If you saw in the thumbnail, it says it's time to spill the beans. Well, I want to introduce myself and let everybody know what's going on. I've gotten a lot of questions and I want to give answers to it. So bear with me. Like I said, I'm new to, you know, um, YouTube. I've learned a lot by looking at other videos and watching them do it and how they do it. So here we go. Let's see what we can get. All right. First question. Did someone teach you or am I self-taught? Well, my mom was very talented. She was into making quilts, knitting, crocheting, but the only thing was she was right-handed and I'm left-handed. So I used to watch her how to do it. And then I made a sweater for her. That was a joke. One arm was longer than the other. I stitched it all up inside. She loved it. I don't think she ever wore it, but she loved it. And I really didn't get into crocheting heavily until I started watching YouTube. But then it was hard because right-handed tutorials, and I'm left-handed. But I learned from the right-handed tutorials. One that helped me out was Juan Dion Addict because he does his things in left-handed, and I could grasp it a little bit more. But all in all, if you watch the right-handed videos, if you're left-handed, you can do it. But when I start doing tutorials, I'm going to do it left-handed and right-handed. And that might be easier for other people that are left-handed where they can follow what I'm doing. All right, that's the best I can do with that. Uh, Next question. Can you teach left-handers to crochet? Well, yeah, of course. If they watch my videos, they're going to see how I do it left-handed compared to the right-handers. I find the only difference is between left and right is when you go to turn your work. It's just the opposite way. But for somebody that doesn't know crocheting, it's very easy to get confused. So, just gotta take your time, watch videos. If you just learn how to crochet, watch the videos about how to crochet and practice the stitches, the chains, the whole 9 yards, and you should be all right. Okay, next question. Pros and cons of novelty yarn. The only I call novelty yarn is the ice yarn. I've never had it before. A good friend of mine, Janine Long, sent me some, and I love it. I made a blanket with it. I put it in other projects that I have. I'm working on a beautiful, I forget the name of it now, but it looks like a Mexican tile. And I have that going through. It's the, oh, I can't think of the name right now. My mind is going every which way, trying to get this video out and making sure it's good and everything. It's called the Picasso, and I absolutely love it. Somebody wants to know about my accent. Is it a Boston accent? No, it's a Rhode Island accent, but that's close enough to Boston. And then they also asked, was it New York? No, it's Rhode Island. We're one in a million. We don't pronounce our R's. We want to park the car in the parking lot, or instead of butter, we say butter. I've lived down here in Florida now for 16 years. And when we first came down, I was very self-conscious. I was trying to pronounce all my R's. And then after a while, I wasn't even thinking, and I guess I went back to my Rhode Island accent because to this day, I'm still getting questions about where am I from? Boston? No, Rhode Island. When did I start crocheting? Oh, in my middle 20s, late 20s. And what made me want to crochet is watch my mom do it. She made beautiful work back then. She made the granny square blankets, the ripple blanket, which was popular back then in the 70s and 80s. She made beautiful shawls, ponchos. She was a very talented woman. You know, I think that's where I got all my talent for it. You know, she helped me out a lot. I mean, she loved the sweater I made. It came out like garbage, but because mothers, they love what their children do. Okay, biggest project. I made a blanket of my own, just as the stitches went. I just went with it. It wasn't a pattern. Um, I will put a picture up in the video of this blanket. It fits my queen size bed. I won't put it on the bed because I have a dog and I don't want him, you know, pulling it. And it's one that I'll never get rid of because it was one of my major blanket projects that I did. So I love that one. And what started me crocheting again was somebody wanted to know what's the first thing people saw when I started baby clothes. Well, I was into making the baby pinafores, the dresses, the sweaters. I made a christening gown, white with the peach ribbon going, you know, through it, with a white sweater and a white bonnet and booties to match. And I got to put that up on my website, but I haven't got a chance to do that yet. And what started me, somebody asked what started me in making baby clothes. I figured it would be a good project to start just getting back into the crocheting again, where I could follow, you know, tutorials. I'd rather watch a tutorial than to, you know, read a written pattern. I get more out of watching somebody do it than trying to figure out in my mind, reading it and then trying to do it. Okay, so I figured baby clothes are very easy. It's a small project. It doesn't take long to make, you know, a baby sweater or, you know, the dress. Thing I had trouble with was the booties. But I got that down now, so I can, you know, whip up a pair of booties, no problem. Somebody wanted to know if I went to Woodstock. No. That did not faze me. I'm not one to be out in the rain, and I don't like a lot of people. And in Woodstock, there was a lot of people, and that's not my idea of a good time. You know, I'll go to a movie or something like that, but not to be outside to watch bands, and I'm just not into that. Somebody wanted to know, what is my favorite band of the 70s? Well, I don't know if you consider them a band, but I used to like Tony Orlando and Dawn, Laura Branigan. Let's see, I went to see the Jets in Rhode Island, Laura Branigan in Rhode Island at what they called the Warwick Musical Tent. Let's see, who else? A few of them I went to see. Somebody wants to know, how do I feel on a good day? Pretty good. But on a bad day, I could feel like 102. So I take the good and the bad and the ugly and just keep on pushing. And if I get down or if I just want to relax, well, then I'll stop crocheting. You know, right now I'm in the middle of making, boggy blankets. I have 3 to finish, and then I have to get those off to Nancy. I think I've done 4 or 5 so far. So once I get them all done, well, then I'm going to ship them out to Nancy, and, you know, then they'll have them. Plus, with doing the crocheting, Janine and myself have designed 2 blankets. And we have the written pattern for them. I just have to do the tutorial for them. And eventually they're going to be a free pattern for Boggy. But like I said, I haven't gotten to it yet to do the tutorial to get them out there. So as soon as I do, you know, we'll get it for Boggy. That'll be a free blanket pattern. You know, you don't have to make it for Boggy, but the patent was made for Boggy Creek, but that's our own original patent. So nobody else can, touch it or copy it or whatever. All right. Somebody wanted to know if we have cats or dogs. We got both. I have two little dogs, and my roommate's got a little dog. I got a Chihuahua and a Rat Terrier, and he's got a Chihuahua. I've got three inside cats that we saved from outside. They were kittens. Then we also feed the stray cats around the area because our next door neighbor, God rest his soul, he used to feed the stray cats. Then he got sick and had to go to a nursing home. So nobody was there, so they came over to our house. So we make sure the cats are fed outside because I don't want to see any animal go hungry, So I go through a 35-pound bag of dry cat food a week with feeding the inside cats and the outside cats. And my inside cats get canned food. I spoil them a little bit more. How much is too much yarn, they want to know. As far as I'm concerned, you never have enough. You might see this project that you want to work on, and it costs a certain yarn. Well, if you got it, you got it. And if you don't, well, then you got a good selection of what yarn you can use to make that project. I found that was quite handy. I had found some yarn that I forgot about that I had boxed away in my closet. So that was my forgotten yarn stash. So what I'm doing now is I'm starting to make projects out of that yarn and use that up instead of using the really good yarn. Well, not really good, but really good to me yarn to work on. And so far, they are, with the forgotten yarn, it's coming out beautiful. So, let's see. If you had unlimited funds, where would you buy yarn from? Well, for one thing, Ice Yarn, I would buy from them. But I used to buy yarn from Joann's, but of course they went out because I used to love the Big Twist. Well, now I'm just starting to use Premier Yarn, the basics. And to tell you the truth, I like that better than the Big Twist. It seems to be a lot more softer than the Big Twist. Right now I'm making a corner-to-corner blanket out of the Premier Yarn, and I just love it. It's coming out nice and heavy, nice and squishy, soft. I think one of the kids are really going to love it at Boggy Creek Camp. Favorite way to store yarn? Well, if I have the plastic bins, I will, pack them in there. If not, I'll just, do neatly of them in like a garbage bag and tie it up good and put it in the closet until I'm looking for something, then I'll just do that. Right now, I'm in the middle of trying to get my yarn room organized where I can get all that yarn out. Because I did have a big living room, well, not anymore. 3/4 of that is my yarn area and just a small area for my recliner where I sit and crochet. And then the dogs have the couch. So, somebody wanted to know if I played any instruments. When I was a kid, I used to play the trumpet. Not that great, but I used to play it when I was a kid. Not anymore because it doesn't interest me. Somebody else wanted to know, do I like the beach or a pool? Well, I live down here in Southwest Florida. So when we first moved down, we went to Fort Myers Beach, which was a beautiful beach until we had the hurricane that almost wiped the whole thing out. Was it 3 years ago? But now we have an above ground pool. In Florida, you need something where you can go to cool off because the summers down here are just horrendous. The last summer, we had feel-like temperatures, 103, 106. The humidity down here in the summertime is really, really bad. But I would not trade it for the world. Coming from Rhode Island with the ice, the snow, and the cold temperatures, I can't deal with that anymore. And at least down here, December and January, we'll get a few cold mornings. But by 7, 8 o'clock when the sun comes up, then it warms it right up. So we'll deal with that and not having the freezing cold temperatures. I do not miss that at all. Somebody wanted to know, do I like Coke or Pepsi? Root beer. I don't care for Coke and I don't care for Pepsi. Another question was, what is your favorite size hook? I go anywhere between, well, it depends on what yarn I'm using. If I'm doing something with a baby yarn, size 4. But I also like the 5, 6, and 6.5. I'm not into the bulky yarn. I haven't ventured into working with that yet. Eventually I will. I got a lot of bulky yarn from when I was thrifting yarn, like from Goodwill and everything. But I'm not going to get rid of it. I got that put away. And eventually, when I don't have anything else on the hook, I'll try to make some. Amigurumis, I don't have the patience to do. Excuse me, that would drive me nuts. What is the process of choosing a project? Well, I'll be watching other people's tutorials of what they're making. It gives me ideas of what to make. I can make it like what they have, or I like to change it up a little to make it my own little special project. But 9 times out of 10, that's what gets me going. Or if somebody's talking about a certain thing that they would like it, well, then I try to figure out how I can make it to make them happy. My sister-in-law, I call her my sister. She wanted to cover up. So I went on YouTube, I found one, I changed the design around, and she loves it. I've made 3 of them so far. And now I have a new pattern that I'm working on. I just made a blanket for Boggy Creek out of it. She wants to cover up for next year, because she's in Rhode Island, for next year for the beach. So after I get all the blankets done and everything, I'll get that done so she'll have it for, the beach weather for next year. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? I never really gave it a thought, because really, most of my adult life, I worked for my mom and dad. They had a lace mill in Rhode Island, and I was the head foreman there. So I was there from 1973 to I left there at 2009 to move down here to Florida. So really, that's the only, career move that I had, other than when I was a kid doing dishes and, working at diners and everything, or working at the grocery store as a bag boy. But that's the only thing I known as far as having a job is working in a lace mill. And I knew everything going in the mill. I mean, of course, being the foreman, you have to. Being your owner's son, you have to know all the stuff, because you go through a lot of bull when you're the owner's son. But, it was fun. I helped them out. They had a thriving business. God rest their souls. Somebody wanted to know if I liked the magic ring or chain 4 and connect. I don't like the chain 4. I like the magic ring. To me, that's easier. I can get going faster when I'm trying to make something. And I just make sure at the very end, I just keep, sewing it in, sewing it in, sewing it in so it doesn't slip. Somebody wants to know, do I work straight from the skein or do you ball it up or cake it? Well, if I can't find the end, well, then I'll work on the outskirts of it. Every now and then I will cake a skein, especially if it's only it's got half left. Because, sometimes when you go to pull it, it gets all tangled up. So I'd rather have it where I can just pull it freely. And that way I'm not getting frustrated and just want to throw it out. Which I haven't done that yet. Getting close, but I haven't done it yet. That's about all the questions I have right now. If you have any other questions, you can please leave them in the comment. I would love to hear from you. Like I said, I am new to the YouTube community. I'm trying my best to get videos out there. racking my brain of what to make for videos. And I think I'm doing all right, but I only got small, piddly videos out there. I'm trying to do longer ones. I'm trying to get known out there to the community, get my name known. I do also have a Facebook crochet group. It's called the same name, Creations by Mark, on Facebook. We just had a goal to reach 700 by Thanksgiving. We are now up to 708 members. On Saturdays, I post a video of what they have done for projects and sent pictures of, because I like to show, the community what our members are doing. So every Saturday, I go through, I upload all their pictures that they've done, put their names on them, make a video so I can post it on the Facebook group, and I also post it up to YouTube. That way, the people are really starting to see what my group of members can do. And they're doing beautiful work. I'm so proud of them. On Wednesdays, we have a private chat group. We call it, somebody named it from the group, Mark's Happy Hookers. So on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock, we get together. We have about 8 to 10 that are there every Sunday. We've been doing projects. Right now, we're doing our corner-to-corner blanket. We've done a tree skirt that we had designed. A lot of things we've done, and they really like it. They look forward to coming back every Wednesday. So about every 4 to 5 weeks, we open it up for anybody that's a member of the group, where they can join our private chat on a Wednesday. If you're interested in joining our group, I will put a link below. Just click on it. You'll see the button that says join. Feel free to join. We have a lot of fun. It's a drama-free, group where we don't have any animosities. Nobody is, causing problems. No drama, which is what I like. I love all the members that we have. We have a few men that have joined, which I appreciate that, because I was starting to get overwhelmed by all the women that are around us. Like I said, we have a good group of people, not only from the United States, but from, overseas and everything else. And like I said, we're 708, and we're going strong, and we're going to keep building that up. I'm trying to build up my YouTube. So if you're new watching this, please reach out, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and that way when I make new videos, you'll know that they're out there. I would appreciate it. And also, if you can share this video, every little bit helps. Like I said, I'm trying to get my numbers up. I think I'm up to 117 now. I've only been on it for, I think, 2 or 3 months. But like I go to bed at night and my mind is just going, or what can I do? How can I do it? I taught myself how to edit. I bought all this stuff for recording part of it. And, it's a learning curve for me. But, I don't have anybody that is really that close by. I mean, Janine's helped me out a lot. She's my administrator on my group. She's helped me out a lot. YouTube has helped me out immensely. And it gives me ideas of what I can do and what I can't do. And it's fun doing it. And I also have a web store. It's called Handmade Creations by Mark, which I have baby stuff, summer stuff. I got to put the winter stuff up. So if you want to check that out, just type in handmadecreationsbymark.com, and it'll bring it up, and it'll show everything that we have right now. Like I said, I got to get all the baby stuff out, the winter stuff, the scarves, the hats for regular people, the blankets. Excuse me, I'm getting a dry throat. The blankets, fingerless gloves, ear warmers, you name it. It's going to be up there. I mean, I'm overrun with inventory. I got to put everything back on the store. So, well, I think that's about it right now. If you get a chance, please comment if you have any questions, and I can do another video of doing this. I just wanted to come on and really introduce myself, and tell you about myself and what I'm trying to do and what questions people have been asking me. So like I said, if you like this video, please hit like, subscribe, and the bell icon, and leave a comment, and please share. All right? Well, I hope I got some questions answered. So, we'll be talking to you. You all take care. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.